Okay, class. Hi, good to see you. I don't often do quite this many videos, but I thought that maybe I needed to actually have a word with you. Okay? So let's start. I have a list of things. Let's start with your discussion board responses to the Trump inaugural address. Excellent. Very well done. I really like the depth of the class discussions overall. For anyone who may have just given me surface information, I looked at that a little bit different because I really wanted you to massage the actual content that he was delivering. Some of you, special mentions, actually looked at previous presidential inaugural addresses. There were two classmates who did that, and thank you so much for taking your assignment as seriously as possible. So your writing was good, your content was good. I especially appreciate the feedback because as a part of the instructions, you were to respond to your classmates. So remember, we're still trying to have classroom and student engagement even though we're in a virtual world. So let me give some special mentions, okay? So we have our top producer, which is Tamika. Congratulations by a landslide. She responded to more of your comments than anyone else. So special mention goes to Courtney and Kiera. So thank you so much for taking the time to make your classmates feel like they were important enough to comment on their responses. We also had some responses early on that I had not mentioned in the student introductions. So the top producer in that was Alicia. Thank you so much, Alicia, for responding to your classmates when they introduced themselves. And special mention goes to Brandy, Yokosa, and Tamika. So they were right behind Alicia. So thank you so much. I am paying attention, and I do look at how often you log in. So your student engagement counts as your participatory grades as well. Okay, so let me go a little bit farther and talk about your exam. I'm glad to see that quite a few of you elected to engage on the last day because when I looked out there before, I said, oh, people haven't taken their exam. But then there were a few of you who had difficulty. And as I mentioned earlier, when you have difficulty, you really have to contact Blackboard in the School of Extended Learning at Norfolk State University because I cannot see what you see. They can log in and virtually help you and give you some kind of feedback. That's why you cannot wait until the last minute. Even I try to give you a 4 or 5 day stretch in terms of when your assignments are due so that you know. So I'm going to try my best to work with you. I cannot retroactively at this point go back because of the exposure of the exam. So this time, your exam allowed you to go out and then come back in and start another exam. And that was my thought of some people may have some difficulty in not actually completing and they may hit the wrong key, and some of you did say that. Thank you for keeping in touch with me. That's very important. Let me know what's going on. But for those, I think it's 2 or 3 of you all who told me about your difficulties, I'm going to personally email you to see what we can do and work with you. But please contact Blackboard. They have the technological information that you need. I do not. Okay? So this means that your calendar, your schedule, the schedule that's in your syllabus tab of Blackboard is a little off. And so I'm going to try to squeeze things together to make them work. I believe it may have been Sierra or Melinda who talked to me about the poverty exam, and I was indicating that there's a poverty exam that you're taking online that you are taking for the experience of knowing what that information is like, okay? You are to post information in the discussion board, a picture of your exam, and tell me your experience with it. That is not the poverty exam that counts for a grade. it counts for participation. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to give you another exam that's an actual exam, a poverty exam. Okay, just like the one that you just took on your chapter 1. We will take one on the poverty chapter, okay? And I will call it the poverty chapter exam so that you'll know it will be on your textbook material, okay? And we're going to try to get that one in and complete it prior to, say, February 9th, because your 5-week grades are due February 11th in the system. And I want to give you an opportunity to have the best grades possible. So far, you're off to a really good running start. You just had a few glitches here and there, okay? So please keep writing where I can read your information. Your articulation that I'm reading is very important, and I appreciate you taking the time to do step by step when I ask you for 1, 2, and 3, letting me know that this is your first, this is your second, and this is your third. It helps me to be able to find that you know the content for which you're discussing. You also remember that you have the sundial, and in the sundial you have raindrops and chocolate cake where you can talk to one another. That's what that site is for, if you want to have some discussion with one another. So go there frequently to see what your classmates may be experiencing. Talk to one another there, so that if you're having difficulty accessing something, when I see everyone else being able to access it, I realize that it's not an issue on the end where I'm putting information in. So speak to one another there so that you can get help and assistance from your classmates, okay? And we will move forward from there. So please continue to email me. Thank you so very much. Hope everything is going well, and I look forward to talking to you again. I think I'll do another video. Okay? Take care.